Hi guys, welcome back to Lewis on Film. I'm Lewis, and today we're looking to Disney Plus, a film that's just been released called Raya and the Last Dragon. It's Disney's 59th animated classic. So Raya, who is a young warrior trained by her father, is the protector, as is her father and his father before him, and his generations down the line. They've protected the Dragonstone. We know of the Dragonstone because the first 5 minutes give us an information dump about what happened 500 years ago and the dragons sacrificing themselves to save humanity. And then, of course, unfortunately, humanity didn't take this chance to become to unify. They instead fought over who should take care of the Dragonstone, and in the end, it was the kingdom or the tribe of Heart that won the right to protect it. And Raya is the last of the latest in her line of people who need to protect the Dragonstone. Her father has decided to bring the tribes together in hope that they can unify and put the past behind them and live in harmony. One thing or another later, of course, someone tries to steal it, and this causes the Dragonstone to break into 5 pieces. One member of the leader of each tribe takes a piece, and it releases the Droon, who are these sort of demon spirits that turn things into stone. Now, unfortunately, Raya's father is one of the people who's turned into stone upon the first release of the new wave of Droon, and she has to restore the balance, if you like. And the only way she knows to do that is to go and find the last dragon, who's called Sisu. And off she sets on this adventure to find her. And once she does, of course, it's not that simple. She's got to find the rest of the gem pieces by visiting each of the tribes and restore it to its former glory. So, in very typical Disney fashion, as I've said, the sort of first 5 minutes are an information dump. It's what are we doing in this world? What was the backstory? What happened 500 years ago with the dragons? Why aren't they around anymore? And where are we now? So that's out of the way. Disney've got a tried and tested method of this. Zootopia did it really, really nicely. They did this information dump in the first few minutes with the kids doing the stage play. Tangled did it really nicely. He says, we hear Finn's voiceover. He says, "This is the story of how I died." Oh, but don't worry, it's a really fun story. More on this later, but yeah, we get the information dump in the first instance, and that sets us in motion. Once we're in motion, yeah, it's an exciting, very fun, very action-packed, I guess, story. I think I'd actually say there's probably not as much action as there is anything else. To be honest about it, which kind of annoyed me, because I went into this one thinking, oh, they've made an action film. Disney have done an action film here, but no, they haven't. It's more adventure, fantasy, fun than it is action. But there is action in it. There's really good action in it. Raya herself, of course, now she's the stern one in the room. She's the one who's determined to get her father back and find the dragon, get the pieces together so that they can achieve the goal. Along the way, she meets people from the different tribes who join the fellowship, if you like. Yes, I've used that word. It's exactly that kind of thing. They form a fellowship, and they're all trying to reach the same goal. And each of these characters adds something to that. And they've all, of course, lost family because the Droon have turned them to stone. So they've all got that one thing in common, that kind of common mutual turf. And they learn to slowly, even though at first they don't, they learn to trust each other. And that's really that's the heart of the whole thing, really, because that's a great message for the kids to take home. It's a timely message in today's day and age. And yeah, I'm firmly behind that as a message and as an overall arc of the film. I'm firmly behind it. It needs to be seen, and it's a great lesson for the kids to take away. So, and a reminder to the adults as well. So, yeah, it's really, really nice, and I'm behind it. I'm behind it completely. The Disney are the top of the pile when it comes to animation, of course. So to say that the animation's wonderful probably isn't a surprise. But unfortunately, again, I know this is a recurring theme with me. I didn't get to see it in the cinema, so the experience was hindered a little bit because you need it. Moana is the best example recently of Disney using the vastness and the vistas and the bigness of the ocean to tell its story. And Raya, unfortunately, it has that. Unfortunately, you can't soak it all in because you need the cinema for it. So that was a slight problem for me, but I can't really criticise the film for that too much because given the current pandemic and the situation, hopefully if it ever gets released on the cinema as a re-release or whatever, I'm in. I'm definitely going to see it in the cinema. I kid you not, definitely. So, as I've said, the characters all add something to this from each kind of tribe that she meets and they come on board the Fellowship. But Sisu, who's voiced by Aquafina, of course, she's the fun one in the room. There's lots of things about the world she doesn't understand, and she's frequently dissing out these sort of chummy this. Well, I guess banter's the right word for it, and she's a really good character, really fun character. Designed to look like Mushu from Mulan. Of course, they're both dragons in the Disney world, but then again, you think of Pete's dragon. But never mind. So she's designed like Mushu in that way, and but that kind of moves me nicely onto a point I want to make is that there's actually a lot of influence here from other Disney things. Well, I say Disney things. There's a lot of influence here from other things that have come before it. So, for example, there's a character. I think his name's Thron, something like that, and he's basically again Mulan. He is modelled after Shan Yu, who was the bad guy in Mulan, and Hook Hand from Tangled. The fact that they're a team and they work together with different abilities, if you like, that's Big Hero 6. I've already mentioned the opening information dump done in a different way. One thing that did surprise me, though, is I couldn't help but notice that it felt very Prince of Persia. If you haven't played the Prince of Persia games, the prince battles this demon that's coming for him, and he appears very much in the same way the Droon do, almost as if almost like a smoke ball in a way. And these demons are repelled by water in exactly the same way that happens in the Prince of Persia. There's a shot in the Prince of Persia wherein there's kind of a giant figure behind the prince, and he turns and he's got this epic stance behind him. That exact thing happens in Raya and the Last Dragon. So it's influences from other things come across here. Now, that isn't a criticism in any way, shape, or form. I'm just pointing out that the past influences and other things have come on board, and they've pushed it in there and made it work in its own way, and it's really nice. I don't have a lot of bad to say about Raya and the Last Dragon, to be honest with you. I really enjoyed it. It's great fun, and it's great. It's got a great message, and I really liked it. But of course, we've got to talk about the bad. So talking of the bad, then, I've already mentioned the information dump sort of in the first few minutes. I think this is misplaced. I think either it shouldn't have been Raya to be the one to deliver it, or it should have been done after we first meet her. And, because by that point, we've actually got most of the information that we need. And that information dump that's given to us right at the very start almost seems just to accompany that second scene that follows it. So I think maybe just ticking a few boxes after it would have been enough. But I could easily be wrong about that. But again, I understand, I respect that your target audience is kids, and they want the information there and then straight away so that they know what's going on. I get that. I just think it was misplaced. The other thing I want to mention is that I don't think Raya is as revolutionary as as the media is saying she is. And I don't mean this in a disrespectful way at all. I am just giving my 2 cents. And my 2 cents is Mulan in 1998 was a action heroine in the Disney world. And what's the problem with that? Um, you're allowed to carry on the revolution. I just feel like everyone's saying, "Oh, Disney have revolutionized this." No, they haven't. They might have done so years ago, but they haven't done it now. They've been ahead of the curve for a long, long time on making these films, which are, which are female led, which are culturally relevant, which involves different cultures from around the world. Again, Mulan, Aladdin, even going back as far as 1959 with Sleeping Beauty, and basically three elderly ladies who were the hero of the story. So I don't believe this is as revolutionary as everyone says it is, but Disney have always been doing it. They've been ahead of the curve for a long, long time. And the fact that they have made these revolutionary characters over the years is wonderful and is to be commended. Raya is not the start of that, nor is it the next step in that. It's just a fine addition to the revelation that Disney have been steamrolling and they've been ahead of the table at it for long enough. So they know what they need to do, and they just tick all the boxes. That's what this film feels like. It feels like a box ticker. But there aren't any production companies out there who are better box tickers than Disney right now, and they make a fun film no matter what. So there you go. That's Raya and the Last Dragon. Go enjoy it. I think because you will. You'll really like it. It's got a great message. It's really good fun, good action when it comes around. The humour's it's fine, and like I said, it's a timely message for families to sit down and enjoy together. And in a day and age like this, we need films like this. So yes, I like it. I recommend it. Go ahead. Disney Plus. You have to pay the £20 fee to get it on the Premier Access, but of course people will do that because it's worth it. So go enjoy.